everybody. Welcome to Game Face Monday. I am Lee Wolf. We are live, and it is a beautiful day. As always, I'm thankful Mr. Richie Bello has me sitting by his side. How you doing, Richie?
Great. How are you, Lee?
Good. I'm going to jump right in today and run the video that we would normally run a little bit later in the show, but just to lay the foundation for where we're heading today, which is going to be about VIN-specific leads. So I'm just going to run that quick right now, and we'll be right back.
We continue to show dealerships across the country how to retain their customers. But now Shop Smart Autos wants to bring the new customers right to your showroom floor. The car they want? It's sitting on your lot. And Shop Smart Autos can bring you the VIN-specific leads that take them straight to your door. These aren't just leads. They're nurtured, targeted, and matched down to the exact vehicle. You'll sell more cars faster, and your team is going to thank you for it. Shop Smart Autos VIN-specific leads. Let SSA show them the way to your showroom floor.
All right, so there's two major focuses that Shop Smart Autos, the number 4 dealers, touts when you visit that site. The one that we've been talking about tremendously is the VIN retention report from Shop Smart Autos, which can show dealerships what their retention percentages are like, where if their customers leave, where they're ending up, the types of dealerships they're in, how they get rid of their car. They may not have gone to a dealership. They may have gone to an auction. They may have gone, done it like private sale, straight to a dealership. Whatever it is, that VIN retention report can give dealerships an idea of how they can continue to retain or how they can gain back customers that they lost. And that is a tremendous part of the game. The primary focus that dealerships normally have is on new leads. And we're not afraid to talk about new leads. That's important as well. Of course, there's nothing better than the feeling of getting a new customer. So that's where now VIN-specific leads, which is the other part of Shop Smart Autos, 4dealers.com, talks heavily about. And it's a very successful way, which I've seen with my own eyes, for dealerships to grab leads at a great cost and a great price, I should say. But they're VIN-specific. They're targeted. It's basically the vehicle that people that they're looking for is the vehicle that's literally on your floor, on your showroom floor or in your lot. But taking a step back first, Rich, why all the hate in the past with third-party leads, and what's changing in the game?
So what is changing in the game is this. So we all know, who's ever been in the car business, that third-party leads is a lot more work than what it is. Cox Automotive early in COVID said there was a blog that said 9% Auto Trader. Well, that's not necessarily right. It's actually more like 3%. Okay.
3% what?
Conversion of you getting a lead and delivering that car.
Gotcha.
Okay. And it's about the effort, right? It's about keep following up the customer and keep following up the customer. So third-party lead generation, like Shop Smart, like Cars Direct, Auto Trader, True Car, all these companies and ourselves, right? What we nurture, we've always nurtured just to even get the customer, because that customer just fills out at Shop Smart, that customer just fills out a basic form, name, phone number, email, and whatever. Now you got to make that lead into a real lead. Now it's just somebody that could be a tire kicker. Could be he just filled out the form. Big deal. When you reply back to an email and ask him questions, he might opt out. He might not anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the same thing. It's 1% or 2% of somebody replying back on something they want.
Right.
So that's why it wasn't good. So dealership would need customers. They would go to cars.com, whatever. They would get their customers, but that's not their customers. That's more like a cars.com customer. So now we have learned that nurturing these opportunities for the dealership and driving them to the dealership is a much better solution. I always gave VIN specific leads. I wouldn't share them because obviously, how am I going to share those leads when they have a VIN number?
Right.
Right. So how are you going to share them? You can't, right? So now we've always done okay with this VIN specific lead because it's your inventory, right? That's what you need. But then we are getting into the nurturing process. We're doing some testing in a few stores with the nurturing process, right? And if you really search 80% of your buyers, if you search this, 80% of your buyers go to third-party lead first, okay? That's a J.D. Power case study.
Right.
Talking about the process that there is. Okay. So right now, by you nurturing, and third-party lead generation always nurtured it, but they nurtured it back to their search inventory. Okay. Back to .com and all that. Because if they didn't nurture, they wouldn't have any customers, right? Customer buys from you today. If you don't follow them up and you don't do certain things and you keep the relationship going, they're not going to remember and come back to you. So that's what it is. So now it's about the lead. Yes, it's about the lead. Everybody wants leads, correct. And especially now in this marketplace we're in, everybody keeps asking about leads. Traffic is down. There's no leads. It's not that well. At ShopSmart and at White Dove Bird, we came up with a few solutions for what's going on in the market. Yes, lead generation is important. Nurturing that lead is important, but we're also got this new product lead that you're very well versed with, which is Google My Business. This Google My Business software that we have, it drives traffic to your showroom. How do we know that? Because of directions. People are clicking on the direction, and that's way up. And it's based on keywords. You get up to 10 keywords. Right. Dealership near me, the best dealership, Honda near me. We can open that up 10-mile radius, 20-mile radius, 30-mile radius, whatever you want. Okay. So it's customizable to drive this. And we have tremendous analytics that's called heat maps. And it tells you what number you are, on that keyword in that area. Right. So that in combination with the lead gen, right? And nurturing that. Understand, if you order leads from us, right, you're automatically going to get more traffic, either foot traffic or website traffic. Why? Because there's an ad out with your inventory, everybody's inventory on their pictures. It shows the website and it shows all that information. That's why dealers do that, because they know that when a third party is going to generate leads for them, they're going to upload that in a publishing network. And when that gets uploaded in the publishing network, bang, right? So our leads, what's different about ShopSmart and the rest, right? Our leads are VIN specific. So, I was on the phone with a store in Chicago. Well, those leads I can get for, $25. I says, yeah. Do they give it to you with VINs? No. How, like, what does it say? And he shared with me what it says. He's actually a Honda store, right? Honda Accord with the model LX. And that's it. Doesn't give you a stock number, doesn't give you a VIN number. Well, that lead can go out to 5 other people, of course. Our lead is unique to you only, Mr. Dealer.
Right. And you get the name, the email, the address, the phone number. You get the color of the car, the mileage, the price, the VIN, the make, the model. Everything is on there. Everything's on there, okay?
So that's an important lead opportunity. Now, what's happening is I've noticed something. People in dealerships actually think a lead is a deal. So they treat it like a deal. They get on the phone, they treat it like it's a deal. A lead's only an opportunity for you to do business, just like that customer that walks in the showroom.
Right.
That's just an up. Now you got to meet, greet, demo, service walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, certain closers knowing where you're at with the buyer. That's all it is.
Right.
And it's
the job to
much
be done.
harder. Here's the thing. It's much harder to do that because virtually it's a lead. What is it with the lead? What do you got to sell? You got to sell the appointment. I was in a dealership that they were actually working the numbers on the phone. They hit the customer at $500 a month. They did this, all that on the phone. Guess what you're doing?
It's a ticket to shop.
A loaded gun. I've never seen that. I've seen that, 30 years ago. I never see that lately. You're talking about 30 years ago.
Right.
And it's a local dealership to us that all he knows how to say is, I have no traffic. Well, we showed him how much traffic he's getting. And we showed him it's a partnership, right? I'm a lead provider. You have to have people in there that know how to handle a lead, because if you don't even get them from me.
Right.
I don't really want to turn on too many stores on lead unless I'm able to follow it up ourselves and get the people in the door, because I don't understand it. It's like a cloud over people's heads. Some stores are really successful at it. Some stores are really good with the lead gen, but some are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, $500 a month. The customer told them, no, but I could be at $350. They started working that over the phone. How did you arrive at that? Here's what you do. Mr. Jones, I've never lost a deal over price. Why don't you come in and see if you like the car first? Because we have plenty of models to choose from.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't tell the customer what they, this, that, all that disclosure. I have no idea what's really going on, but that's the wrong thing to do.
Right.
You sell the appointment. You cannot sell a car over the phone. I don't care who you think you are. You can't. And if you could, let's say you could do it, you're either giving away a car or you're just giving the customer what they want.
Right.
So, and it's very easy to overcome that. It's a real simple way to overcome that. Mr. Jones, since I've been here, we've never lost a deal over price. Let's see if you like the car first. Because one thing is looking at it online. The other thing is you watching it, driving it, and make sure that it has the right equipment for what your wants and needs are. That's a professional way of handling somebody right on the phone in about 2 seconds.
Right. Now, do you think this is due to COVID that you're starting to see things like this happen again? Is like training reverting back to zero, and people? During COVID, you had to basically open your showroom door, and people were just running out with cars. Now, different story. Do you think COVID had a major effect on the industry, especially for all the newcomers?
Yeah, I think that a few things. This is what my thoughts are. Digital retailing also came in while COVID. Cox Automotive was one that promoted that to the gills. Now, in digital retailing, you got to send them the document and all that. They don't come to the showroom and all that stuff, and you do that. So we're confused between, there's too much, right? So we're confused between, well, that customer applied to get a car delivered to them, this, that, let's send them a document, all that. That's a little different than getting a lead that we don't know what their position is. We don't know if it's going to be a replacement car or an additional car. We don't know how much down it is. And we don't know, talking about interest rates and all that, like this store was doing, we don't really know if they grant for what kind of credit.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. Now, if it's about digital retailing, you write it down, boom, boom, you do your thing. There's a lot of stores that are doing, especially the big auto groups, are doing digital retailing. Okay, that's a little different.
Right.
But a lead that you don't know what you got here, because they don't put in that to trade it,
Right.
but then they spring a trade at you.
Right.
So when they walk into the showroom, there's a way to ask them that. Is this going to be a replacement car or an additional car?
Right. Right.
You know? And, there's ways of asking questions to the customer to find out where you're at. It's about, everybody says it's the gift of gab in sales.
Right.
It is, to a point. It's really the gift of listening.
Right.
Asking the question and listening to the customer and looking at their reaction and finding out if they're telling you what's going on. So there's a whole different way of doing things, and a lot of folks are just not into it, and we're taking shortcuts by that. The lead generation that ShopSmart has, what's good about it is we run you the VIN retention report, right?
Mm-hmm.
We give you the lead, right? That's the analytics behind our product line. So we tell you, are you retaining more customers?
Right.
It takes a quarter, 90 days for you to see some results, but within 90 days, you see that. So we have the reporting, and we also have the leads. Are you selling more cars than your competitors? And we have that reporting too. I can pull up in a marketplace any competitors they have.
Right.
Right. So I can show them, are you selling more now than you were before?
Right.
But more important, are you retaining more now than you were before?
Right. Yeah. Retention is
Right.
ridiculous. It's ridiculously important. And some of the numbers out there that these dealerships are holding on to are it's horrendous. It's horrendous. And they're just waiting for that next up and that next new lead. And then again, the new leads are always important. But man, if you were retaining 3%, 5% more, some of these dealerships are losing hundreds of cars, hundreds of customers a month.
I gotta say this. I ran a store for the first time. I'll tell you the store. It's in Massachusetts. Okay. For the first time that I've been running VIN retention, this store is at 60%. He's retaining 60% of his customers.
I can't even imagine that.
An okay town, a little small town in Massachusetts. The dealer's been there forever. Wow, he's doing a great, great job. And I just was on the phone with his pre-owned guy, and he was telling me how much they retain in service. The 40% that they don't retain in sales, that are customers that bought cars elsewhere and come there for service.
Wow.
That's how much they like the service department.
They're doing something right. Yeah.
Yeah, the service department is one of the best service departments based on what I'm seeing that I've seen in a very long time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy how it is. And this client he's in the process of getting leads from us. So we're going to start with him. But the biggest thing with him is his lead gen. He wouldn't have done it if we didn't do that process of nurturing, because it's what he says,
Wow.
I want to, and this nurturing thing it's not just in the car business, like there's a lot of industries that are doing this. The construction business is doing this. The caterers, the holes are doing this, because everybody knows a lead is a lead. Okay. I have a lot of leads. Okay. Like I have a specific catering hole that gets a bunch of leads. Okay, great. But his ROI is not there.
Right.
Because it's about the nurturing process. It's about handling that lead the right way for it to convert.
Right.
It's the same thing as an email marketing campaign that you do. Is how you set it up for it to convert.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what it is. And I gotta talk about something. I always get these a bunch of usually automotive vendors that tell me they want to do. Listen, I'm going to tell you something about that whole process. The automotive vendor that want to do marketing, they want to do this marketing referral program.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want. And that makes sense. That makes sense for me too. They don't really want to do marketing. What they want to do is you to bring in their customers, and then they'll give you, whatever percentage you agreed with. You know what I mean? That's understandable. But these days I'm focusing more on this only because there's a big need for what's going on in the industry.
Right.
I mean, I've been on and off the phone with dealers just to ask them what's going on with the local guys that I know here very well. Obviously I'm from Long Island, so I know a lot of people out here, long time been here, and they all tell me, it's like there's no traffic. Our traffic is down. Traffic is down. I mean, also in Florida, I know plenty of dealers too, and a lot of people are right now a little bit down. Not by much, but a little bit down out of state, out of Long Island. But Long Island's really down.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering why that is. And it's very easy for me to say because I have the feed, so I know what the average day in stock is. The cars are aging and aging and aging. And it's, it's scary when they're aging like that. And talking about inventory, we have a solution, Mr. Dealer. I want you to listen. If you have old age inventory, we have a solution where you only get leads on your old age inventory. Before you go to the auction, call us, give us about 30 days, and you might sell 4 or 5 or 6 cars out of that inventory.
Right.
And then that now becomes less of your problem, because
that's really interesting. So they can actually hone in on the specifics.
Right. We can get their old age inventory, and I can upload that part of the feed into the network to get leads
and pull leads only from that. Wow.
Yes.
That's tremendous.
And we have that solution right now.
Wow.
That we can go after the old age inventory only.
Oh. So, and just to give because this part is always a gray area for dealerships, businesses in general, how you begin and how long the process takes. So dealership wants, let's say they want to do start off with like 50 leads. Once they get we have a little bit of information from them, paperwork goes in, giving them an understanding, because it takes a few days for leads to start rolling in.
7 to 10 days.
7 to 10 days. Okay. Which I know
the exact same thing as it takes for them to go on Google AdWords. The same
right.
thing. It's, you got to put the feed up. You got to promote the feed. You got to syndicate that feed to your publishers.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to optimize it. So it takes. But we always said at ShopSmart, within 30 days, we supply what you're supposed to get. If you're supposed to get 100 leads, we'll supply those 100 within 30 days.
Right.
28 to 30 days.
Yeah. And I've seen it. Not that it's a promise, but I've seen it go faster than that.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. Last one being about 6 to 8 days for it to kick into gear, and the leads were just flying in every day. It was like a nice flow. All the information was there. It was a beautiful thing to watch, and I can't imagine being on the receiving end of that when I was on the floor. So let me just let's break away real quick for a retention minute with JP, and we'll be right back.
3 silent killers of retention at your dealership. You want to know what's quietly costing your dealership thousands every month? Number 1, no post-sale contact strategy. You make the sale, then ghost the customer until a trade cycle or service interval. Too late. Number 2, disconnected departments, sales, service, finance, all running different plays with no coordination. Number 3, generic messaging. It's time for service. does not cut it anymore. Your customers want personalized value, not automated noise. The fix? A retention platform that unifies the entire customer journey, finance, service, warranty, even accessories, and keeps customers engaged long after they drive off the lot. Now, guys, most dealers miss this. Don't be most dealers. I'm JP with VinSight. You sell them, we keep them coming back.
Yes, that's JP over at VinSight.
He was sharp, that guy. He looked white shirt, nice, right?
Yeah, he's got a great delivery too. He should be doing podcasts himself for sure. But yeah, and that's a really interesting platform, the VinSight platform, and Ivan, their AI bot that basically can talk to customers, continues to nurture customers after the sale. It's a great platform, and every dealership should be checking that out as well. And yeah, so, and what about costs? Is ShopSmart's right up there with the competition, competing cost wise for leads?
Yeah, my course is pretty good. Our course is pretty good. It's just like this. Like there's other leads that are $25, but you don't get your inventory because they're sharing the leads.
Right.
We don't do that.
Right.
I'd rather not do that because then I'm sharing it with 4 or 5 dealerships. So then it's a waste of time. I don't like to waste time for their employees to call people. I like people to call and say, yeah, that was the car that I was looking for.
Right. Yeah. Because if people are out there searching, right? If they're out there searching, they're out there looking for cars, and lists of leads are coming in that are being pumped out to 3 or 4 dealerships in the area. What if you don't make that call within a few minutes?
Yeah, you're done.
You're done. Yeah.
And the whole thing with that, this is a car that they want. It's a VIN number. So you don't have to be that quick.
Yeah.
Because they're looking for this specific car.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they look for a Honda Accord LX and that's all you have, 5 dealerships in your marketplace are getting that lead. And then what do you do?
Right.
Then it's a race.
Yeah.
With having a unique VIN number and that unique stock number, you got both, by the way, having those 2 things, that really, really tells you that the customer already narrowed it down to that specific car.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're calling this person literally with the exact vehicle that they're looking for, right down to the VIN number. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Anything else you think dealers need to understand about the program before we change topics quick?
I think dealers need to understand what's going on today, that it's about the leads, but us third-party lead generation people are also nurturing that lead. By the way, we're going to have a product on in the next few weeks that's going to be nurturing all their leads. The more leads that you nurture, the better you get that store to run, because there is so many opportunities in dealers' database and their DMS. Always been. Dealers just never, they're just not into that. They rather pay more money. Like they rather buy leads basically and just keep buying leads from everybody and just creating this work for sales guys, for BDC people, who's ever working the phones, and really not focusing on the database.
Right.
Like they got the Cars Guru leads, this lead, that lead, that lead. There's some dealerships that's 7,000, 8,000 leads a month. And there's some that have 3,000 leads. And what do they do with that?
Right.
It's there every single month.
Right.
There's a percentage of people that might not buy today for whatever reason, sticker shocked, not enough for my trade, all these things. But then they think about it and then they say, you know what? I really like that car. They talk to their wife a couple of times. They talk about it at dinner a couple of times. They come back and forth. And some people are procrastinators. They don't make a decision that easy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing you're dealing with. You're dealing with humans, basically,
Yeah.
And just because there's elite, we give you in-market people. We don't give you data. We give you lead. We give you in-market. Somebody that's in the marketplace that's looking for a car. Mr. Deal, don't you want to know?
Right.
Don't you want that? Well, that's not good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you break already. You're in market now. The conversion part, walking into the showroom and all that, that's up to the dealership.
Right.
And now we've gone the extra part that we want to nurture those leads for them. I mean, that's to the dealership. I've never even heard of that. I mean, Lee, when I was in showrooms and you get leads, you got to call the leads. You got to call 30 times a day.
Oh, yeah. Hundreds of calls a week. Hundreds. Yeah.
Listen, I do a lot of email marketing for myself, okay? And I'm, from my experience, okay, calling somebody because they opened up an email or because they clicked through it. I'm never going to sell any dealership, I want everybody to hear me, not one dealership if you don't go door to door. If you don't go on the road, showroom to showroom, you're not going to sell them.
Right.
Because you call them, yes, we're interested, this, that. Yeah, let's book an appointment for August. Oh, yeah, okay, sure. As I go on the road and I go to their dealership and I visit 14 or 15 dealerships, I'm going to sell them much easier.
Right.
Because there's an excuse and then there's an objection. Which one is it? Let's get in there and figure out which one it is.
Right.
Let's figure out if it's an excuse or an objection. I mean, give me a break. You got to go out on the road. Yeah. You have to go on the road. There's no question about it. And we're a national company, so I got to go more than on the road just in Long Island. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I don't like to, but it has to get done because working from home with this product doesn't work.
Yeah.
Just doesn't.
No.
I've never seen it work like that.
Right.
You have to go hit marketplaces and penetrate.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
Absolutely. And just a quick change of topic. Always talking about it. Let data take the wheel. Gets a little blurry when I move around, but it's on Amazon. It's been doing well. Richie's was this the fourth book? This is your fourth book, right?
Fourth book.
Richie's fourth book. The special thing about it, though, and I haven't read the passage in a while, but I'm going to read it today. All profits from this book will be donated to our U.S. military veterans who need hope in their lives. Suicide is a complex problem, and it impacts the military. Military community. Stop Soldier Suicide is the only national nonprofit focused solely on solving the issue of suicide among U.S. military veterans and service members. Every dollar this book makes is being dedicated to StopSoldierSuicide.org, and just says, let's continue to give hope to our heroes. Since I know you, which I don't even know how long it's been now, I know you closely 6.5 years. I think I know you a little longer than that. You've always been about the military, and you don't talk about it a whole lot, but this is a great cause. It's a scary thing, how much we rely on our troops to provide us with our basic freedoms, and then they come home and they're left stranded a lot of times with nothing. Some of them live great lives, but a lot of them do not. And so the suicide rates are ridiculous. It's a major epidemic. And it's, especially coming out of war times and being overseas, away from your family, seeing horrific things, having to do horrific things. We have to take care of these people when they come home. And this is a great cause, a great way to do it. So
yeah, I've always talked about the military and the car business because I've been in the car business. I'm 19 years old, and I've worked with guys from the Autolands of the world. And in those days, people took advantage of our veterans, and today they still do. they promote veterans and they really, really want to make more money on vets than anybody else.
Right.
Okay. Because they get the rebates and they get this and they get all that kind of stuff. And that's why it was always been a big thing. And they used the veteran thing as a marketing. And I don't really like that because they really looked out for us. They went to, don't forget, dealers. I was with dealers that were real like animals, okay? That they were really knew what they were doing and they really knew how to market, because it wasn't about marketing. It was about marketing and merchandising and then getting that customer and do a flip on them in about 2 seconds, okay?
Right.
I come from the car business that doesn't exist today. So I know when I see something out there, what they're doing, and it's not really nice to do that. Do that to somebody else that could, that makes whatever and didn't sacrifice for his country and does all that. Don't do that to a vet that comes back and is trying to get on his feet and put his family on his feet.
Right.
When they do come back, they got really good credit. When they do come back, everything gets done, everything gets approved and all that, because they still have money they saved it while they were there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But then as life hits them and other things and happen, they're in trouble, Mm-hmm. So that's why I've always been lead for the vets. And when I really saw the recruiting process at Washington, when I went to Washington and they showed me, because I said, well, what is your recruiting process? How do you guys do that? And they showed me what they do. Then I really, really felt bad for them.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's like the old used car salesman. That's right. Exactly what it reminds me of.
Right.
Promise, and worry about it later. Like, worry about it when they come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
After you've destroyed their life. So that's why I'm so much with the vets and the vets and the vets. And I keep saying that because it's not the right thing to do.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Veterans mean a lot to me. A lot of people use it as a marketing perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
And dealers especially.
Yeah.
I knew of a dealer in the 90s that said, I want to get 60% of veterans in my showroom because they sell to veterans, and then that way we can, make more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been in those showrooms. So I know what time it is with that,
Yeah, sure.
So when I see a promotion like that, I know. And the worst day to promote, the worst day, you're insulting a vet. The worst day to do it is Memorial Weekend. You shouldn't even talk about veterans on Memorial Weekend, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't even talk about it. It was a very soft spot.
Yeah. Happy Memorial Day.
The worst day to promote it.
Yeah. I know.
And they all promoted Memorial Weekend, and that's a terrible day. That's why it's called Memorial,
Yeah. Yeah, it is a really strange concept, and we would never do. I wouldn't think, unless there's something I'm missing, we wouldn't do, Happy Pearl Harbor Day sale,
right?
Correct. Or God forbid, 9/11, or like Memorial Day is all about sacrifice and loss, and we're selling mattresses.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's very strange. But all right, so Shop Smart Autos, the number 4dealers.com. Two worlds when you get there. And if you're a salesperson, you should be talking to a manager about this. If you're a manager, you should be talking to a general manager or an owner about this. You've got the SSA VIN retention report on one side. If you want to see how many customers you're losing and how many you're holding on to, and you want to know by make, you want to know by model, you want to know where they went, and you want ideas on how to win those people back through your service departments and filling your service department back up and selling them cars and flipping them back into your showroom, the SSA VIN retention report is an unbelievably powerful tool. And then on the other side, there's the new customers, and that's the SSA VIN specific leads, where you're literally getting leads that are the exact vehicle that the person happens to be looking for, and it's sitting on your showroom floor. This is not a lead that 3 dealerships are jumping on the phone quickly to call to say that they have that car. They don't have that car. Only you have that car, and only you have that lead. Doesn't get better than that. So whoever's out there listening and watching and tied into the automotive world, you'll be a hero if you let the owners know or the general managers know about about this lead program. And again, it's right on the bottom of the screen, Shop Smart Autos, the number 4dealers.com. Anything else going on in the world, Richie?
No, just if you look at the last numbers, I mean, June, we were a little bit off. You know, I think it's at 3.5. Let's see what July has with the new sales index. But June, we were a little bit off. Let's not make that a habit, guys. You don't have to make that a habit.
Right.
The market's out there. The lead gen is out there. All these things are out there. So, I mean, there's a lot of dealers right now that are buying leads. I mean, the lead business is pretty hot topic right now.
Yep.
And I just don't know that by what people are saying. I know that by real data.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And not to forget that there's a lot of garbage out there. But finding
a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
A lot of garbage. And there's a lot of people that are doing this garbage.
Yeah.
You know? And cheap. You know, and then, but you're getting a quality lead here. You're getting a lead that's a lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And the
That's
data
a real lead.
and the data in the VIN retention report is quality as well. It's spot on. And that's the other beautiful thing about not wanting to do garbage work because
Right.
their dealerships, your CRMs, your databases are full of garbage. If you have to wait months to find out whether a customer left or not, and you're sending promotions to these people to come in and buy a new or a pre-owned vehicle when they've already gone down the road to another dealership, traded in their car and moved on, wouldn't it be a much more beautiful thing to be promoting to them? Sorry to see you go. Here's a free oil change. Come on back. We'd still love to service your Volkswagen or whatever it is they purchased or whatever. Just we'd love to service your vehicle, even though you made a choice to go somewhere else. And there's so much garbage being pumped out there to people, and it's not timely and it's not the right message. And the VIN retention report helps you clean up your CRMs and target and have the right message at the right time. So
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And that's a report for the leads, You know where you're at with the leads with that report.
Right. Very cool. All right. Well, as always, Richie, thanks for having me by your side.
Thank you.
And thanks to everyone out there for watching and listening. And, we will be back next week.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
Take care.